Tonight we should be performing the Lilith and Moon Festival. This is a festival that we perform every fortnight. Lilith is the moon. We celebrate her at 2 times. The first time when it's a full moon, and the second time when it's a new moon. And we have different festivals for these periods because they represent different types, different powers, different ways that she exists for us. The phases of the moon represent different powers for her. So this festival is a new moon. And the new moon? No, I'm wrong. This is a full moon. This is a full moon. And the full moon is when the sun is shining on the moon from the front. And the shadow of the moon is pointing away from the earth. This is a period when Lilith is at her weakest. And so tonight, we pray for our goddess. We pray for her return. We pray for her shadow to be turned to the earth and to us, and for her power to be maximized. So tonight we will be performing a moon ritual. So there's certain parts of this ritual that I won't be performing today. So in the full ritual, there's a period where we enter a meditative state. We go into meditation. And it's during this period that we communicate with our gods, and our gods come and they sit with us, and we actually have conversations with them as comrades and as friends. But this meditation can take like half an hour. And I can't think of anything worse than you watching me meditate for half an hour. So I won't be doing that. So in some senses, I won't be doing the full ritual. I will be missing bits out. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of walk you through it and explain what it is we're doing and why we're doing it. And then I will perform it for you. So, if we look down here, and we look at the bed, you can see that we have a pentagon. And the point is pointing towards us. So, if we look at the pentagon, we see 2 points. 2 points above and 1 point below, and that's what you're trying to look. So that's like the face of Lucifer that you're seeing here, right? So if I plonk you down over here, you should So in front of me, pentagon laid out in front of me. Over here, if you can see this, I can't pick it up, it's too hot. Well, we've got a burner which is burning frankincense and myrrh, which are both considered to be Luciferian herbs. So myrrh helps us to break down the barrier between the physical world and the spiritual realm, so that our prayers can enter the spiritual realm. So these incense are quite an important part of our rituals and stuff. Here I have a glass of red wine, which symbolizes blood, and at the beginning of the ceremony you would cut yourself and put a drop of blood in there. Like, blood is the life essence, and much of our rituals are about breaking down the barriers between the physical realm and the spiritual realm, so that we can make connections with our gods. Gods can make connections with us, and the drinking of the life force is one of those mechanisms, along with the incense. So around us we have 5 candles which mark out the points from the pentagon. So from the pentagon here we've got candles there, candles there, candles there, candles there, and a candle behind me here. So what this is doing is it's creating a sacred circle around us. So in the middle of the pentagon you can see that we have sigils. So these are wrapped up in my spell book. This book has my spells and stuff in it. But essentially we have 3 sigils that we use. We have the pentagon, we have Lucifer's sigil, and we have Lilith's sigil. Now, tonight's ceremony is directed towards Lilith, so Lilith takes the precedent. She's on top. The pentagon does at the bottom, and then so we've got Lilith on top here, right? And then she's wrapped up into the spell book with this cord here, right? So tonight's ceremony is all about Lilith, our moon goddess. So we have this space around us that what we're going to do when we start off is we say a prayer to Lucifer, and we mark off. So the direction that I'm facing right now across this, the altar is set up to face the east, because the east is where the sun rises and Lucifer is the sun. So the way that we pray is that on every morning, every day, the first time that you see the sun, that's when you're supposed to make a prayer, right? So our connection with the prayer, with the sun and stuff, is to do with that. So we're facing east from here. So we start off by invoking Lucifer across the cardinal points, and we make this space here. And so we're essentially creating a portal or a connection between the spirit realm and the physical realm. So we're opening up a connection here in this circle that we've set out around the point of the pentagon. Tonight's ceremony is on a full moon. So when when Lilith is at her weakest, and so tonight's ceremony is it's all about her. Like, we don't make any prayers to ask for things for ourselves tonight. It's all about Lilith and asking for her to come back, right? So I'm going to go through the ceremony that we do so you can see it. The difference is that I'm dressed, right? I've got clothes on. Now, usually, prior to this ceremony, you would take a shower, wash yourself clean of everything, and then the entire ceremony would be done naked. Yeah, but naked. So we clean ourselves first before we make ceremonies or before we pray. We try to clean ourselves. So also the one thing that you would do is that you would write down on a piece of paper a prayer that you would say. Now, a prayer to my God is quite a personal thing, so I'm not going to do that in this ceremony. That's between me and my God. I don't really think that it has anything to do with you, yeah? So I'll just kind of point to the point where you would do this. So essentially you would write down your prayer, right? And then there's a point where you cut yourself. So we have a knife and we cut our thumb and we get a drop of blood and we put it into the wine. And then we get a drop of blood and we use a feather to get the blood and sign the bottom of our prayer. So we make a prayer and then we sign it in our blood and then we set the piece of paper on fire, right? And so that's like how we make our prayers. But I'm going to do that. So I'll start the ceremony and I'll show you what we do, and I'll read the prayers out that we use so that you know what they are. Okay, so essentially you start from kneeling, and you would kneel before, and oftentimes, I mean, I've got the candles already lit here and the frankincense is lit, but usually they wouldn't be lit. And at the beginning you would sit down and you would kneel and you take a deep breath and you exhale, and then you would light the candles and you would light the frankincense and myrrh. But that's already been started. Okay, so from here you would then stand and start the ceremony, which starts like this. In nomine Dei nostri, Lucifer, Excelsior, we call to you. In nomine Dei nostri, Satan, the adversary, we call to you. In nomine Dei nostri, Iblis, the rebel, we call to you. In nomine Dei nostri, Azazel, the lover, we call to you. In nomine Dei nostri, Lucifer, Excelsior, we call to you. Lucifer, brother, by your grace, grant me, I pray thee, the power to conceive in my mind and to execute that which I desire to do, to end which I would attain by thy help. Almighty Lightbringer, the one true God, who liveth and reigneth forever and ever, I entreat thee to inspire Lilith to manifest before me, that she may give me true and faithful answer, so that I may accomplish my desired end, provided that it is proper with her station. This I respectfully and humbly ask in your name, Lucifer. May you deem me worthy, Father and brother. Send forth that messenger of voluptuous delights, and let those obscene vistas of my dark desires take form in future deeds and doings. In nomine Dei nostri, Lucifer, Lucifer Excelsior. Hail, Lilith, Lady of the Night. Your moon hails fully tonight. Your shadow is at its weakest, and your power doth shine most ancient, deep with magic and secrets. You are powerful and free. No other being is your master. You fly upon the wings of night, and the wind carries your messages. Since beginning times, you were here. No one can tame you, for why should you be tamed? To be your own ruler is your nature. The weak ones of Adam kind were afraid of you and called you evil. Every inner demon and dark shadow in the night has been ascribed to you, sister. Your power, wild beauty have survived. Welcome, Lilith. Welcome, mistress of the night. Send your sisters down to us. Let them find us and join with us. Let your power envelop us and be one with your shadows. Teach us to be unafraid, to feel power singing in our veins. Help us to face and balance the shadows in our nature and to be proud of your blessings. On tonight's harvest moon, we look to you and your darkness to surround us, lift us, to shield us and elevate us. Protect us with your shadows and return to those who would harm us, and help us to understand the protective shadows you provide. Hail Lilith, Dark Lady! Come forth, O great spawn of the abyss, and make thy presence manifest. My thoughts upon your blazing pinnacle, which glows with the chosen lust of the moments of increase and grows fervent in the turgid swell. Send forth that messenger of voluptuous delights, and let these obscene vistas of my dark desire take form in future deeds and doings. From the sixth tower of Lucifer there shall come a sign which join us with those saltaires within, and as such will moves the body of the flesh. Amen. I have gathered forth my symbols and prepared my garnishings of this to be, and the image of my creation lurketh as a seething ballistics awaiting his release. This vision shall become reality, and through the nourishment that my sacrifice giveth, angles of the first dimension shall become the substance of the third. Go out unto the wind and the night and the shadows, and pierce the mind that leadeth to paths. Hail, Mother of Gods, hear my prayer. Grant me your favour, O night, O Lady of the night and shadows, hear me. Let the flames burn in honour of your bright light. Yet I look to you, Mother. Grant me your blessings. Hear my prayers. Let my essence be burned into ash, spirit released. Let your power manifest. Hail Lucifer! Hail Lilith! And at this point, we would enter a meditative state and communicate with our gods. And after that time, then we would read out our prayer in blood. And we would drink from our chalice. And we would burn the prayer. And we would place it into the ashtray. That would conclude that is what we do to honour our gods. Hail Lilith, hail Lucifer.